Hey chums, and welcome to another Let's Play with me, RC, here on Video Chums. Today we're going to be playing a bit of the Ballad Singer. Now, this is a game that was completely off of my radar. I hadn't heard of it, but I guess from what I've seen, the game is basically sort of a choose-your-own-adventure Dungeons and Dragons style game. It's based on old RPG books of, from the days of yore. And everything, I guess, is narrated, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty fun experience, too. So this might actually be a little bit different from what you're used to seeing on the Let's Plays here, where, I'm kind of playing the game and telling you about it as I'm playing it. But this time around, it might be more like you're kind of listening to the game, and we'll make choices as we go and see what happens. I haven't played any of this yet, so I don't know fully what to expect, but we're going to jump in here real quick and, see how this all works out. I'm actually pretty interested because I remember being a kid and actually reading those choose-your-own-adventure style books. And I wasn't really into RPG books as a kid. It wasn't something that really entered my life until, I was a much older, college time, when I became adult and everything like that. But I did read choose-your-own-adventure books, which I really enjoyed. So, from what I could tell here, it looks like you have two characters that you can't pick from. It looks like they are currently locked. So you have Daragast, who's a bard warrior, and you have Ancalamo, who's an assassin. But you do have these two that are open, which is Ancorin the Ranger and Leon, Master of Elements. Well, as far as look goes, none of these characters are really doing a whole lot for me. This guy seems really cocky. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I feel like I need to go with her, because she's got this sweet, forest look going on. Reminds me of, almost like a Poison Ivy from Batman, maybe like a, a reimagining of her. So I think we're going to pick her. Let's see. So it says that she comes from the Tower of Balinor, the outcome of a magic experiment. Her past is almost completely unknown, as the life expectancy of these creatures born of magic is quite brief. She intends to live her life as honorably as possible. Expert tracker and of good soul, she always tries to see the best in everything. However, this doesn't mean she can't be practical and ruthless. A skilled archer, Ancorin is a fearsome foe to face from a distance. She's utterly loyal to the rebels and wants to bring peace to the world, so she'll follow any cause. Oh, there's more. She finds just. Ancorin has a huge potential. She needs your help to change Hesperia's fate. Okay, so she's actually got a pretty interesting backstory. I'm not sure how all of her different skills are going to come into play here in the game, because it looks like you have challenge, combat skill, potential opponents, fame throughout Hesperia. She's not very popular. And starting alignment is neutral, right in the middle. Looks like we also have the option of choosing our type of mode here. So we have standard, and we have what looks to be called Explorer, but Explorer is locked, which just says it's unlocked by completing a campaign for the first time. So that's something to keep in mind. Up here behind my webcam here, you can see this is actually where you pick the difficulty. So you have Hesperia Citizen, Soldier, Champion, and Legend. So let's see what we have for the differences here. This is perfect to get to know the story. Many manual saves allow you to explore the game, while the high availability of Fate allows you to see what would have happened if you died, which that's kind of interesting. And then it's Soldier, the next one up. For anyone who wants to explore the story while keeping the original spirit of the game, manual saves are useful to avoid losing progress. Fate allows you to make a few bold choices. And as we go up, we know it's going to be, yeah. So Champion's great if you want to live with the constant fear of death. Which I do not. Legend, you can't foresee all possibilities. Death is inevitable, so you will die. So it sounds like if you kind of want to more just enjoy the story, you just start with Citizen. I think we'll jump in with Soldier, though, just to kind of see how that all goes. So we got campaign name. We'll just name this RC's Sweet Campaign. How about that? Tutorial's on. That's locked because we haven't played it yet. Appearance of choices at the start. On voice center, on click. I don't know the differences here because I haven't played the game yet, but let's jump in. Here we go. On to the adventure.
This tutorial should help you get familiar with the game's interface.
So here I'm going to be messing with the volume to make sure you guys can hear it as we're going here too.
clicking on the choices, you'll shape the story and proceed along your adventure.
Head to your private quarters to read the...
Clicking on the icon
Oh, I
above
see.
the choice will play its audio.
Head to your private quarters to read the Blood Magic book. You want to further your powers, and the book has the knowledge you require.
The audio is mixed very strangely. I noticed earlier that the music is very loud. The buttons are not currently working. Here we go. Let's go to options, audio. Alright, so we want the voice way up here. And we'll move the effects up to about here. Yeah, voice was like super low compared to the music. The music is super, super loud. Yeah, let's save that and let's continue.
This tutorial should help you get
There we go,
familiar
much
with
better.
the game's interface. Clicking on the choices, you'll shape the story and proceed along your adventure. Clicking on the icon above the choice will play its audio.
Head to your private quarters to read the Blood Magic book. You want to further your powers, and the book has the knowledge you require.
It's also not giving me the option to like scroll through the rest of the text. It says head to your private quarters to read, and you can see the button light up here, but it's not quite letting me click that for some odd reason.
With these arrows, you'll scroll
Oh, there we go.
through
Now
the
we can. It just
longer
need to be enabled
choices.
through the tutorial. I see. Okay.
Click on this button to hide the book.
Okay.
Now click it again to reveal it.
Seems
Click
pretty
on
simple
the
so
bottom
far.
left corner to move the book and the choice. Now click it again to return the elements to... These buttons are to manage the narration's audio.
Ah.
Here, you'll find the icons to manually save the game and to see the amount of fate you have left. Here, you can find the icons to return to the main menu, to see the game's options, and to pause the music and narration.
Okay. Pretty
When
interesting.
you return to the main menu, the game is automatically saved to the autosave slot of the campaign. You
Okay.
can customize all the controls from the game options. Now, click on the first choice to begin your story, or click on the other one if you'd rather get to know the game system better.
I love the options. One is start my adventure or find out more about the game system. Now, we're just going to get into it here.
Start my adventure. Find out more about the game system.
There we go. We're starting. You can find out more about the game system later. I want to jump into the game. I want to see what this is all about. Prolog.
Several years have passed since Leon set out to seek his obsessions. His stubbornness resulted in a war for the conquest of Kael'Sinar. However, he has yet to acquire all the knowledge he needs to dominate the nation, and with time, the entire world. As part of Kael'Sinar has fallen under his heel, the resistance has risen to stop him. The head of the rebels has hidden in the Ismaran forest. He has called for a council to end the war and destruction wreaked by Leon. He is aware that people need a hero to inspire them if he is to gain back the trust that continues to falter day after day. The head of the rebels is none other than Raymond, the wizard who once ruled the Tower of Balinor. He turns to a ranger to search far and wide for the only person who could take on the role of such a hero, the famed Daragast Layar. As Raymond mulls over the desperate situation, he sips a glass of wine in his austere tent. He indulges in a singular, quiet moment before the volunteer for Daragast's search is called inside. And Corin, a young, green-skinned woman, steps up. She's a sylph and an expert tracker. She belongs to a new race, another failed magic experiment. However, instead of isolating herself from the world, she wishes to be part of it, so as to give her life meaning. And Corin wishes for acceptance. She longs to leave behind all the years of abuse and mistreatments. She has joined the resistance, seeking deliverance from her past.
And Corin, I'm glad you've come forward for this mission.
I want to help the cause, Raymond. Sylph replies. Where do you suggest I begin?
The most recent intel we have dates a few years back and comes from 3 different locations. You could try looking in the city of Akma, the forest of Rulath, or in Rost. Unfortunately, we can't tell which are trustworthy.
I'll depart immediately, Ancoran declares.
I'll be eagerly waiting for your return.
Ancoran bows to Raymond and takes her leave to start packing for her journey. She needs supplies, weapons, and money. But first, she needs to choose where she's heading.
I guess we're continuing here. All right, so just from this page here, you can kind of tell, like I said, what kind of game this is going to be. I mean, this is the type of game that is going to be talking at you for the whole thing. So wearing headphones and listening to the story and everything is pretty much a must at this point. Oh my. I don't know if that came over the microphone here, but your friend and mine, Sushi, has joined us in the video, vocally anyway. Hello, sir. Hopefully he'll be a little bit more quiet as we're listening to the story here. All right, so it looks like we have 3 places to pick from. We have Rost, Rulath Forest, and Akma. Yep, looks like he's going to jump in his chair here. There we go. Look at that. Okay, let's quiet down. We have choices to make, Sushi. Shh. Quiet. Okay. She looks like a forest dweller, so you think like the forest would be the first place to go to. Akma is a town. Seems like we can get into more trouble there. I don't know, maybe that's worth checking out. Rost also looks like a town. Let's start with the top. Let's go top to bottom. Let's just see what we got.
The city is not far from the Resistance headquarters. It's one of the few main stops for the rebels to have a few drinks or to revel between women's thighs at the local brothels.
Wow.
However, Akma leaves you unimpressed. You keep your hood low, covering your eyes so as not to give away your identity. The city, though it barely deserves such a name, is merely a conglomerate of wooden houses. Nevertheless, it is teeming with people. The Werebore Tavern might be a good
just a
place
mute.
to start your mission.
My mistake.
Walking through the alleys, it doesn't take long for you to find it. It has an eye-catching sign. Dusk is falling, and many customers are already sitting at the tables. Normally, the music and noise would be enough to keep you out. Even though you're much more comfortable in the wild, you have a task at hand, so you pull yourself together and enter the hall. Since there's nowhere to sit, you head straight to the bar, where you meet the barkeep's smiling face.
What can I help you with, my dear?
Wine, please. And information. You hand him a gold coin and uncover your face. The barkeeper is quick at hiding the coin in his apron, but pales upon seeing your face. Suddenly, someone grabs you violently and splits your lip with a punch.
We don't want any monsters here!
Sound like Billy West.
Squalls a man roughly twice your size. You have no choice. You must defend yourself.
All right, what do we want to do? Kick the opponent's knee or engage in a melee fight? We'll go with the knee.
While imposing, the man you're facing is quite clumsy. Since your first fighting lesson, you've been taught that the weakness of larger opponents are their legs. You surprise your adversary by kicking him in the knee. He drops to the ground, grunting painfully, but can't avoid your punch straight to the chin, which knocks him unconscious. Just as you think you've dealt with the problem, you notice the tavern has fallen quiet, and the bystanders are glaring at you. There must be at least 20 of them. Common sense comes to your aid, and you run from the tavern before things get worse.
Probably a good call. Run from the tavern before, you know, you got to kick a few other people in the knees. All right, I guess we're going to the forest now. That was a real quick trip there. That didn't work out, did it? Kick someone in the knee and then head to the forest.
Is long. Before you is a dark maze of trees and entangled branches. You'd rather not go into the woods now, as it's evening. But you need to find Daragast as soon as possible, so you wander into the forest. The path unravels between the trees, and as you advance, you hear some wolves howling. You rush forward as the call of the wild beasts grows closer. Finally, you spot a trembling light in the distance. Perhaps the window of a cabin? You hope to get there before the wolves are upon you, but it's too late.
Oh no.
3 pairs of yellow eyes point your way, and you'll have to face them.
All right. So when I hear hurl a volley of knives or draw the short sword, let's do the knives. I like the knives.
With woodland predators, the best strategy is to strike first, and quickly. You can't show any fear. You unsheathe your knives with both hands and hurl them in one single fluid movement. You hit the first two wolves straight between the eyes.
Whoa.
The third beast immediately stops growling, turns tail, and runs. Nature's perils seem to have come to an end, but your ranger's instincts suggest otherwise. Ruloth might still have a few surprises in store yet. However, you're also in a hurry to find out who lives in that cabin. You see two paths before you. One is a stone road, while the other looks like a beaten track. You close in and study both carefully before deciding which one to take. You may fall into a trap. The stone path is clearly the work of men. The other looks more like the result of animals passing by. Both could be safe, but you never know.
You never know. Let's see. Let's take the beaten track. It might be more interesting. Just to see what happens here.
The path you've chosen seems to lead away from the cabin. It keeps changing its course. You're afraid you might run into more wolves, or perhaps some other nocturnal creatures. Darkness is falling fast, and even though you're an expert, you'd rather avoid traveling like this.
Alright, well I guess we'll go back and take the other path then. We want to get to the cabin, not walk away from it. Oh no!
Trees, but go straight to the cabin. You're almost there when suddenly you feel the stones move under your feet. A contraption goes off to your right. Leaving no time to react, a swarm of wooden spikes jab at your tender flesh. Whoever lives in the cabin must be extremely cautious and probably set up some traps. A wooden grid with spikes hits you right on. You're not dead yet, but you can feel your life force leaving you. Your adventure ends here.
Man, what a what a pitiful mission, dying immediately like that. So yeah, this is the stigma of the choose your own adventure type of book, is that at any turn, anything could happen. You make the wrong choice and you may die, you may perish. Let's see what happens when we click the skull. Choose your fate. Change it. So you get the chance to go back. That's what the fate does.
Seems to lead away from the cabin.
We're going to keep going here because we already know what we're doing.
Your perseverance pays off. You almost didn't expect to see the cabin's light again. You've arrived directly on the opposite side. The window lights give away that someone inside is awake. Another howl echoes in the forest. You shiver and quicken your step. You're so close now that if someone opened the door in time, you wouldn't have to face another fight. You approach the cabin and breathe a sigh of relief. As you knock, the door opens on its own. Inside, the light of several candles reflects on hundreds of glass vials, diffusing a red glare. There are so many you can barely count them. An old blind woman sits at the center of the room.
I've been expecting you, Ancora the Sylph.
She whispers with a squawking voice. How do you know my name?
I know many things, and I foresee others. I'm rarely wrong.
Are you a seer?
Yes.
Can you help me? You ask her, your heart racing.
It will cost you 2 golden coins, 1 for each eye.
Without a single word, you place the coins on the table. You've come prepared. I'm looking for a man, a warrior. His name is Daragast Lyar.
There is no one with
Daragast
that
Liar?
name.
He's dead then. You shake your head desperately.
That's not what I said.
What do you mean?
You need to ask the right questions.
Where can I find the person who lived by that name?
That's better.
The old woman smiles and continues.
Look for him in Rost.
What's he doing in Rost?
He plays a different instrument, but the song remains the same.
You'd like to ask more questions, but the old lady raises her hand.
Rest on the straw mattress in the back of the room. You'll resume your journey tomorrow morning.
Your instincts suggest not to object, and you go lie down. The following morning, you wake up to find the house deserted, and you feel empty somehow. You resume your path right away.
Aha, so we've discovered the Daragast guy, which I believe is one of the guys you could play as when you're first continuing an adventure. Maybe when you finish one of these other characters, you actually can play one of the unlocked ones. I don't know. Pretty interesting, though.
The village is quite rural and is mainly dwelt in by farmers and shepherds. You have no idea who to look for. The intel you've gathered is scarce. The only thing you have is your man's name. Rost's inhabitants don't seem to fear you, even though your look is definitely out of the ordinary. Perhaps they've seen strange creatures already. You ask a few people for Daragast Lyar, but no one can help you. You get to the blacksmith's shed, and a grizzled man with a toned body quickly glances at you. He continues striking at the horseshoe he's working on with his hammer. The metal seems to be singing.
How may I help you?
The blacksmith asks. I'm looking for a man.
Name?
Daragast Lyar. The blacksmith nearly loses his grip on the hammer.
He's dead.
Something tips you off, and you continue to press the man. I don't think so. Your reaction speaks volumes. The blacksmith threatens you with his hammer, his eyes flaming.
You'd better listen to me and go back where you came from.
Whoa. Pretty threatening. So what do we do? Listen, old man. Tell me where I could find Daragast, or I'll kick you out. Or I'll kick it out of your ass. Oh my god. Calm down, didn't mean to tick you off. Let's go the high road for a moment here and just see
The blacksmith
what happens.
looks down and continues his work.
The man you're looking for left long ago. I don't think he shall ever be back.
He replies evasively. Kael Sinar needs him.
No. The rebels need him. You have no hope.
At least we fight.
And you shall die. Every last one of you.
If Daragast should ever show up, tell him he can find me in the Ismaran forest with Raymond. You turn on your heels and leave without waiting for his reply.
I want to close the book here real quick too, because I just wanted to show off like the really beautiful artwork that's been done in this game too. It reminds me of like, you know, it's very comic book style art here, but it's been done really, really well. The colors pop a lot, and I do actually like the character styling too. It's very cool. We're gonna go to Leon 5 years earlier. I suppose the blacksmith is actually Leon, so let's see what happens
For
here.
years now, peace has been reigning over the continent of Hesperia. The feats of ancient heroes, warriors, and magicians will live on as legends and children's bedtime stories. Everything is back to normal. Markets and trades are flourishing, raids of marauders are rare, and brigands have mostly taken to dwell in hidden groves and forests. However, wizards have lost control over their dark experiments. The Tower of Balinor has become the cradle of new races and monstrous creatures. They now roam free in the lands of Kael'Sinar and beyond. Leon, a powerful wizard withdrawn to the shadows, belongs to this world. Leon plans to carry out his obscure designs and bring back the darkness of his own past. He had studied at Balinor under the great wizard Raymond until he decided to take his own path. Leon would never forget the people who helped him survive when he was but a boy, age 6, just as he will never forget who took him away from his family, from everyone dear to him, and from his kingdom. Now, he feels the time has come to take everything back. Thanks to his magical talent, he's mastered all of nature's elements, but he has several choices to make. He could expand his powers. The task would set him on the research of the book that will allow him to learn a new type of sorcery bound to blood. His own master had revealed to him the existence of the manuscript. Or he could look for a tomb hiding a crucial artifact, a relic containing the blood of 2 ancient wizards. They both had the power to dominate all 4 of nature's elements, just as he. Of course, he could also recruit some allies. What would be better than befriending a dragon?
Who wouldn't want to befriend a
hooded
dragon?
figure trudges through the rain, supported by a cane just as tall as him. He has just left the Tower of Balinor and has no intention of turning back. He meditates on his ambitions and craves a new beginning for his life. His heart beats madly as he steps along the path. The dull sky, laden with clouds, mirrors the torment grasping his chest. Leon has a good soul, but he shall bear no limitations to achieve his goals. He faces 3 choices.
What could the choices be? Let's find out. Let's continue and find out. So we could retrieve the book, we can search for the dragon, or find the tomb with the relic. Well, as much as I like dragons, I feel as though we're not fully prepared to go find this dragon yet, so maybe we should go retrieve the book first.
Leon decides to go after the Book of Blood Magic. He heads northwest for the city of Remagast, close to the border with the cold desert. He might find an old acquaintance there to start issuing his first commands. His journey proceeds smoothly, and after about 1 day, Leon crosses the city gates. His eyes meet a ghastly scene. Remagast is still in ruin. Triumvar Lotanor, the blood wizard who tried to take over Kael'Sanar, had dealt it a harsh blow. Though the wizard was defeated, he had been able to hide away the secrets of his sorcery. Leon had been able to gather such information due to being closely tied to the wizard's story. Their hearts were just as dark. He moves among the alleys of the city, heading to a tavern with a sign so badly faded that the name can no longer be read. He has the feeling that his man might be within those walls. The hall is crowded and the noise is deafening. Nobody notices his entrance, save for a bald, pale head, which turns to face him. His pointed ears move as if they have a life of their own. Leon recognizes him right away and heads for the elf's table. Good day, Ankalimo.
Good day to you, Leon. What brings you here?
My design is moving forward, declares the wizard with ill-concealed pride.
What do you need me to do?
Head to Snelfos, gather the army, take the city, and ready yourselves to move against Balinor, Leon orders.
Has the time finally come?
Indeed.
What are you going to do?
Asks Ankalimo, intrigued. I will retrieve something which will render us invincible.
No time to lose, then.
We need to act now, declares Leon.
This might be one of my favorite lines from any book. Where was it? Here we go. Yeah. My design is moving forward, declares the wizard with ill-concealed pride. Oh man. Such a funny line. I'm gonna have to use that like in conversation with somebody at some point.
Leon indulges in a night of restful sleep to restore his energy. After fleshing out the last details of his plan with Ankalimo, he resumes his journey to the north. First, however, he must carefully choose the enchantments he'll rely on. Triumvar Lotanor was able to bend all of nature's elements to his will, so he needs to be ready for any circumstance. As evening falls, the wolves' howls echo in the ominous landscape. The wizard comes across an imposing jet tower. Searching around the complex, he locates the door with surprising ease. Leon is skeptical. He had expected some sort of magical ploy to be hiding it. Perhaps all of Triumvar's enchantments were lifted upon his death. However, his sixth sense warns him that something isn't quite right. Examining the tower thoroughly, he finds the bones of a mouse. A trap appears to still be operational. Leon studies the corpse closely and analyzes the ground around it. He notices that the bones are broken and the soil seems to be overturned. The wizard must now choose which magic to use to safely enter the tower.
Let's see here. So it says he analyzes the ground, he notices the bones are broken and the soil seems to be overturned. So it seems the door is pretty strong. I'm sort of leaning towards like turning the door to sand. Let's see what happens when we do that. Hopefully
Roots
we made the
suddenly
right
spring
choice.
up
We
from
did
the
not.
ground. They envelop Leon's legs, immobilizing him. The grip is brutal, and he fights to break free. Some of the limbs have separated from the bundle and have begun lashing at him. They pierce through him like spears.
Ooh.
In a few moments, they have pitilessly crushed his body.
Ooh. Ooh, that's bad. All right. So we don't want to do that. We're going to choose a different fate.
Leon indulges in a night of restful sleep to
All right,
restore
we're going
his
to
energy.
try... Let's try
After
fire
fleshing
this time.
out the last details of his plan with Roots suddenly spring up
Nope,
from the
that's
ground.
death as well.
They envelop
am I
Leon's
not
legs,
understanding here?
immobilize. Leon indulges in a night of restful sleep to restore his energy. After fleshing out the last
Let's go with the
details of his
vortex.
plan with Ankalimo,
See what happens.
the window's shutters
Hey,
are
there
open,
we go.
and Leon
Third time's the
enters the
charm.
tower effortlessly. The room is pitch black, save for a single glimmer of light that shines on a desk. As Leon takes a step forward, the windows shut abruptly and everything fades to black. A heavy silence looms over the room. The only sound Leon can hear is a dripping noise that grows increasingly louder until it resembles that of a babbling brook. The water soaks Leon's feet, soon rising to his ankles. Even though he can't see anything, he must hurry. Leon feels his way around the room.
All right, so we can light a flame in the palm of the hand to light up the room. There must be something to stop the flow of the water. Solidify the floor to stop the flow, or create a water barrier around Leon. Fighting water with water could be the winning choice. Fight water with water. I guess we'll try the water barrier then. Let's see what happens.
His magic doesn't work as he'd hoped. Unfortunately, Leon can't see anything in the room and conjures a random enchantment, which doesn't allow him to oppose the element that threatens him. Unluckily for him, the water flow is so abundant that it submerges him far too quickly. He doesn't have another chance to respond.
Oh my
The water
God.
completely invades the place, leaving him trapped. This is the end for Leon, who suffers greatly as he drowns.
Wow, they really lay it on thick, don't they? They're like, he suffered greatly when
The
he
window
drowned.
shutters
Just
are
so you
open,
guys know.
and Leon enters the tower effortlessly.
All right, let's
The
try
room
to
is
do the
pitch
solidified
black,
ground
save
thing. That
for a
sounds kind of
single
cool.
glimmer of light. His magic
Nope, that's
doesn't
another
work
death.
as he'd
Okay.
hoped.
We are losing our fate points
Unfortunately,
quick here.
Leon can't.
Wow.
The window's shutters are open, and Leon enters the tower effortlessly.
All right, we'll go with our final pick here. Light a flame.
Searching the room, Leon finds an hourglass on the desk, the only object in the otherwise unadorned chamber. Leon tries to pick it up, but the base is fixed to the desk as a sort of lever device. The movement stops the water flowing in from above, and it starts to drain out through several nozzles that sit along the walls. Meanwhile, a door opens, pointing him towards a long and winding spiral staircase. It leads up to the top of the tower. Leon bolts in as the door shuts behind his back. This time, the room lights up completely. The chamber is circular in shape, and at its center lies a bookstand with a significant tome on top. Closing in, Leon reads the title, Blood Magic. Everything seems easy, perhaps too easy. But Leon has a shut door behind him, and there is no way out. Out of nowhere, a fire elemental appears, ready to jump on the sorcerer.
So this is where I was really dumb on the last one. It's like, obviously, fire against water, though water puts fire out most of the time, right? So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to pick a water elemental to fight the Guardian because he's a fire guy. So
Leon
There we
kills
go.
the Guardian and takes the book. A secret door opens along the side of the tower, and he steps in. A row of torches lights his path. Even though he can't fathom how any of it is possible, 1,000 thoughts rush through his mind. He has faced many dangers, including death. However, he had done it. The tunnel takes him outside, from where Leon will resume his journey.
Well, great. We took it out. Water was the answer. I managed to get that one on the first try, which was great. All right, we're going for the dragon here. I think this is going to be a good way to go out, is to
Without
hopefully find a
hesitation,
dragon.
Leon decides to head to Laganasan. The cold desert is an inhospitable region inhabited only by outlaws. Its border is marked by an imposing metal fence. No one has ever been able to climb over it. Several barracks are placed along it, evenly spaced, with hosts of soldiers. Each troop is numbered. The changing of the garrison takes place but once a year. A patrol sees Leon and stops him. They warn him against heading across the border alone. Leon tries to pull rank as a sorcerer, meaning to persuade them to let him through. Instead, the soldiers surround him and escort him to the highest ranking officer.
And this is?
The captain inquires.
He wouldn't say.
One of the soldiers replies.
Talk then, or I'll lock you up.
So what's really cool, I don't want to interrupt the narrator while I was talking, but what's really cool is that if you listen closely, you can actually hear the fire crackling in the background. So while you have, our character here talking to these guys, you can actually hear the fire crackling behind them, which is really cool. It actually definitely brings you into the story a little bit more because it makes you feel like you're there, which is fun. Let's answer their questions and see what happens here.
My name is Leon. I'm a wizard of Balinor.
He speaks. What brings you so far from home?
My business is none of your concern.
You arrogant fool. I'll have you whipped before I'll throw you in the cell. Now answer my questions.
The captain of the guards is infuriated, and Leon doesn't like orders.
Uh-oh.
The wizard must now decide whether to submit and start answering, or to attack.
We got a rogue wizard here who likes to play by his own rules. What can we do here? So we can summon a bundle of roots to strangle the others, unleash a fire wave all around him, discharge an air blade to behead the soldiers. Wow. I'm not looking for trouble. I'm on a secret mission on the wizard's behalf. Yeah, I'm always going to take the route of least resistance here just to see what happens.
There are no secrets here at the border. Arrest him. Let's see if a few days in jail will get him to talk.
Oh, man. What do you guys think? Should we fight? Should we go to jail? I don't know. I don't feel like he's going to be super violent with these guys if he doesn't have to be. If he beheads them, I mean, they're just going to send more soldiers after him, right? So maybe we could do something in jail. That
Leon finds out firsthand that compliance doesn't always pay off.
Not a good idea.
There are no secrets here at the border.
Let's
Arrest
fight.
him. Let's see if a few days in jail.
Leon is outraged by the power play taking place. He decides to act upon getting rid of his audience.
All right. Let's do... Let's do the firewall. Sounds pretty cool.
Although a great wizard indeed,
Wow.
Leon has overlooked a minor detail. He is not immune to fire.
How am I
And
supposed to know
triggering
that?
such a high-level spell in a room so small is simply idiotic. He burns alive alongside the others as their cries of agony rise to the sky. The flames devour the building, leaving
Wow, look
it
at that.
visible from miles away.
I love that you can move the book out of the way to look at the drawing at any point when it's crazy. How was I supposed to know that was like a super powerful spell? Did they tell you
Leon
that?
is outraged by the power play taking place. He decides to act upon getting rid of his audience.
Let's go with the air blade because that sounds pretty sweet.
Leon is fast, and the soldiers have no time to react. His hands are as quick as his tongue, and
Wow.
he unleashes the spell.
That's pretty
Despite
gory.
the devastating effects on his opponents, he is safe. The sorcerer smugly smirks. The maimed bodies of the foolish men lie on the ground, the smell of blood and guts beginning to taint the stale air of the barracks.
Now, I did notice here that down here at the book, there is a ×2, which I think will have them read a little bit quicker. So we might try that on the next one to see how much quicker that actually is and if we can actually understand it as it goes, too.
Once over the border, Leon explores the area. The ground is black, as if covered by volcanic ashes, and the climate is much colder than that of Kelsinar. Under a matte gray sky, dark sand and desolation goes on as far as the eye can see. Walking his tedious path, he chances upon a lonely traveler. The two spot each other from afar, but do not try to avoid the inevitable encounter. The traveler has scaly skin, and a forked tongue darts in and out of his mouth as if he were a
man.
snake. He stops in front of Leon.
Look at this guy.
Who are you? He asks. Someone very dangerous if you get in my way. A friend, if you choose to trust me. Your name is... Leon Munar. You may have heard of me. The other doesn't reply. His eyes open wide, and he falls to his knees. Now I recognize you. Your fame and your past precede you. I am Therion, your humble servant. Cautiously, Leon asks him to explain. Everyone knows of the last great wizard able to
Everyone knows.
dominate the elements. What brings you here? I have my reasons. I should kill you for the mere fact you have seen me, but perhaps I won't. Leon's threat sparks fear in Farion, startling him. I am sure you'll find me useful if you spare me. The wizard seems to mull over the plea and decides to test him. I'm looking for the dragon who dwells in these lands. Do not question me, just answer, as I have no time to lose. You need to head north, my lord. You'll find a black hill surrounded by bones. There, you'll find a cave. That's where the reptile lives. No one dares approach it. If you have spoken the truth, wait for me in the city of Snelfos. I'll reward you fairly. If you are lying, however, I will seek you out and I will kill you. How will I cross the border, though? It's under surveillance. Barracks number 7 is empty.
So I did click on the ×2 there for the beginning of this part here, and it definitely is faster, but it also adds a like tinny, like kind of a you know, very I don't know. Tinny is probably the best description for it, but it very tinny backlayered sound to it, which I do not like. So even though you may listen to it and go faster, may not bother some of you, to me it just doesn't sound as good. One of the other things I want to point out too is I love how the voice actors themselves, or the narrators, they are voice actors as well, are doing all of the voices for the characters too. Like it's the same guy doing Leon's voice that's doing the lizard character's voice, which is pretty cool. Without adding anything else, Leon resumes his walk to the location divulged by the creature. All right, let's see if we can get this dragon.
After some time, Leon finds the hill surrounded by bones, just as the Snake Man had described it. The glacial cold is in sharp contrast with the burnt color of the dragon's lair. A strange feeling grips Leon's stomach, but he doesn't give in. He knows which way to go. A nauseating smell comes straight from the cave's center. There, he finds a huge reptile, curled up and resting. It is motionless, snoring blissfully. This is the moment of truth. Here, Leon could find a powerful and nearly invincible ally.
Oh man, could this be? Could it be the dragon? I hope so. Oh man. Look at that thing. Woo! The dragon. I love the card for it there. That's super cool.
And an eye is soon upon him. The dragon rises abruptly, spreading its mighty wings that take up the entire den. It roars and bellows a flame upwards.
Look at this guy.
The dragon is imposing. Next to it, Leon is merely an ant. Its back is covered in scales, while its belly resembles that of a snake, slimy and gross. Leon's gaze follows the coils of fire as they rise. He notices that the hill's ceiling is open to the skies, allowing the creature to come and go as it pleases. A primal fear grips the wizard's heart, but his determination prevails. The situation is critical, and he must act now.
All right, what are we going to do here? We want to attack him with a blast of water or conjure a wall of water to shield himself from the dragon's first strike. Let's put up the wall of water. Let's see what happens.
The wall of water conjured by Leon shields him from the blast of fire, confusing the dragon. Leon must seize this moment and decide whether to hurl a volley of water blasts at its head to knock it out without wounding it, or to block the movement of its limbs by summoning roots from the ground.
Let's try the roots. We did water once. Oh man, you see the blades come in like that?
Leon's idea isn't a bad one. Despite its size, the animal can no longer move. This allows the wizard to enter the dragon's mind. As he tries this, however, the sorcerer notices that the strength of the beast's paws are allowing it to unravel the cage of roots. He needs to give up on his attempt to overpower the dragon's mind and find another solution quickly.
All right, so try to freeze the dragon, create a water elemental. Summon spikes from the ground as spears. Woo. I don't know that... Do we really want to stab it? Because I feel like we might kill it if we do that. We don't want to kill it. I don't know. Let's try the spikes, I guess.
It turns out to be the winning choice.
Oh, good.
Unprotected by scales, the stone spears jab the dragon's soft underbelly. With a dreadful cry, the beast falls, its life fading. The goal of forging an alliance has gone up in smoke, and Leon is exhausted. From now on, he'll have to carry out his plans without being able to count on the dragon's support.
Oh, no. See, that's not what I wanted to do right there. Is there a way for us to go back and redo this stuff? Let's see. Maybe not. That's unfortunate, because I wanted a dragon friend. I didn't want to kill it. That was the last thing I wanted to do. I wanted him on my side. But that is how these games go. They are choose your own adventure, but you don't always get to choose how the adventure unfolds, right? But guys, that's the game there, and I gotta say that this is actually like, this is pretty cool. This is not going to be for everybody, you know. This is a game that's going to be for people who want to listen to a cool story and interact with the story a little bit, and you have it fully narrated to you here too. So if you're a fan of like books on tape, you know, that kind of thing, this is probably going to be something that you really enjoy here. And so far so good. I'm kind of digging this. I kind of want to see where the story is going to go from here. Though I would like to double back and redo the dragon fight if I can. I want to gain the dragon as a friend. I don't want to kill it, you know. But hey, that's how these things work out every now and then. You know. Unfortunately, with a choose your own adventure book, you can just turn back and make the other choice and see what happens. With this, it looks like we're kind of sealed in with what's happening. But regardless, this seems really, really cool. I think from watching this, you guys would understand, you know, whether this is a game for you or not. And like I said, if you are into books on tape or digital books, listening to audio books, you know, on the way to work or whatever you do, I think that this is a really cool option that is very similar to that. Want to remind everybody here, please don't forget to subscribe to us here on Video Chums, because we do all kinds of Let's Play videos like this, and we do all kinds of gameplay videos as well every week on the channel. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my own personal channel, which is Watch GGRC, where I do all kinds of other types of videos, where I do, you know, review videos, I do vlogs, and I actually play through old school maps for Quake and Doom, believe it or not. So if you're into old school FPS gaming, you can check me out there and check out my channel. But there you go, everybody. I'll see you all next time.